logging in daily is probably the easiest way of getting money fast because it's basically free and you can just join the game and collect it and then leave. You can also get stars that get you other rewards such as toys, vehicles and even pets. So this is basically what a cash out looks like. It appears about every 10 minutes in real life and you get 20 bucks every time you get one, so that's a good way of getting free money basically for playing the game. Money trees are a bit pricey to start with and you only get 8 bucks every time you collect it, but over time, especially if you play a lot, the money can start to really add up and I think it's overall quite a good investment. My next suggestion is to have a cash register in your house. Then when people come to enter your house, they might use the cash register to pay money to you, and that way you can also earn money passively while you're doing other things. Something else that's really important to have is a farming house or a farming space in your existing house that has all of the things that you need to cater for pet needs such as pet beds, showers, food, and also the piano for the playground task. So as you can see here, I have a tiny home already set up, available to be used for when I need to farm money. The layout that I have for this house is that in the main room I have all of the main task equipment, and then in the other separate rooms I have food and water that are available to be used for the player, as well as extra bath spaces in case there are other people who are also farming in my house with me and I somehow manage to run out of space. The next thing that I recommend is turning yourself into a baby and also getting out a pet. This way you can double the earnings that you can get from farming, and this is also a lot more efficient than just playing with one pet or one baby. As you can see here, my toucan is thirsty and I can easily use my farming house to be able to fulfill that need, and I can get the money from that much faster. It's also probably a good idea to have a money tree in your farming house or your farming area so you can also get more money while you're farming. I get that this probably sounds a bit weird, but once you understand how the game works, such as how much money you get for completing each task and the best ways and the most efficient ways of earning this money, then I think the farming process will be a lot easier and faster for you. So on the screen right now is the amount of money you get for completing each individual task, and as you can see, these numbers are very different. The number of uses for each food or drink item in your inventory will also be different depending on what it is. Uses of an item are the number of times you can click the item and eat or drink it before it disappears out of your inventory and the food or drink task that you are completing is fulfilled. On the screen right now are the number of uses that you need to finish eating or drinking a number of the common food and drink items that are in Adopt Me. For food, I recommend the marshmallow on a stick, which only requires one use to eat. It is available for free at the campsite, but you can only get 30 of them every time you log into the game, and they do disappear from your inventory after you leave the game. The lowest number of uses for any drink, on the other hand, is 5. There are multiple drinks with this property, such as lemonade, which you can buy from people's lemonade stands, as well as chocolate milk and soda, which are available in the grocery store, or the farm shop as it is now known. Before you farm, you need to stock up on food and water so that you don't have to continually be returning to a certain place to collect more. So as you can see in my house, I have a room where I just have donuts, pizza and a water cooler, so that before I farm I can collect all of the supplies that I need, and therefore I don't have to return back later. I know after a while doing tasks gets really boring, but they are actually the most reliable and basically one of the quickest ways of earning money in Adopt Me. And after a while, even though the numbers initially seem really small, like 6 or 7, they can start to add up. And from my calculations, you can earn about 1,000 bucks, maybe a little more or less depending on how effective your farming is, in an hour. The next thing you want to be doing is collecting healing apples. When your player gets sick, which is once every 3 in-game days, you need to either go to the hospital and get the doctor to heal you, go on the chair, or eat a healing apple to be cured of the sickness. It is easier to just collect the maximum number of healing apples that you are allowed to get each time when you log into the game, which is 30, on your first trip to the hospital, and this way you will not have to return to the hospital again, which is very time-saving and also much more convenient, especially when your hospital task lines up with the playground task, as it is now, because then you can just go on the piano and play the piano in your home and also eat the healing apples, and you don't have to actually go into the main area. The next thing that you want to be doing is to have a lemonade or hot dog stand set up. These do cost Robux, but you can also trade for them from other people, and you can use these as a passive source of income while you farm. So where I recommend setting them up is in a place that a lot of people are going to go to, such as the central island in front of the nursery, or at the school, hot spring or playground when you have those tasks. So I recommend just setting your price to $1 because honestly nobody buys it if it's more than $1, and other people are easily going to be able to compete with you and set a price lower than yours if it's not already at the lowest. As you can see, I have both lemonade and hot dog stands. However, just one thing to note, you can only set up one of them at once, which is something that I didn't realize until I spent my Robux on the hot dog stand, which was a bit unfortunate. I already explained earlier why marshmallows on a stick are the best food option to use in Adopt Me for farming. However, I recommend only collecting the marshmallows when you have a camping trip and not making a specific trip to the campsite just so you can get marshmallows, as the other foods will suffice just fine until you are able to access these. Like the other foods in the game that are free, you can only keep them in your inventory until you log out of the game, and you can only collect 30 at a time each time you log in. This one is really straightforward, just keep the items and pets that you use the most in your favorites tab. So currently I use this tab to keep the pets that I am aging up, and I also keep my favorite vehicles in it, the ones that I use the most, as well as my magic door so that I can get home quickly. The next thing I recommend doing is setting a goal. So as you can see right now, I am at 169,000 bucks, which is very close to 170,000. So maybe I would be setting myself a goal for the next farming session to reach 170,000 before I log off. This ties into the previous one a bit, but I recommend that if you have a problem spending too much money when you're supposed to be saving, to put a certain amount of money in your build with friends, and then once you've reached a certain goal, you can reward yourself by taking that money out and being able to spend it. So if I wanted to buy 2 eggs, then I would put 1,500 bucks in my build with friends, and once I was done with that, I would try and earn my money up to 170,000, and then I would be able to open my bank of sorts and get to the 1,500 to collect my eggs. The last tip that I have is to use alt or alternate accounts. So as you can see here, my alt account has teleported to me, and I can use this to earn more money, as I can be an adult on my main account and a baby on my alt account. That way I can have a baby and 2 pets out. So in this way I am able to age both of my pets at the same time, and I can also earn money on both my main account and my alt account. This particular one is a backup for in case anything ever happens to my main account, but if you just have like a throwaway account that you don't really care about, you could maybe also use the money that you earn on that account to transfer to your main account, and therefore you could also earn twice as much. Now on to what I don't think you should do. So the first thing I don't think you should do is cross-trading. This includes things such as selling pets for cash, buying pets with cash, trading cash for other game things such as Royal High Diamonds, Murder Mystery 2 knives, whatever. I don't recommend cross-trading across games, especially not with someone you just met in a server. Obviously it's different if you have someone on Twitter or another social media that you've met and they also have proofs so that you know they are less likely to scam you. But even with all of these things, this doesn't guarantee that they won't scam you, so just always be careful if you are going to cross-trade. Secondly, I don't recommend asking people for money, because when you dress up as a poor person and you say, "Oh, I'm poor, can I please have pets or money?" usually people will just ignore you, because that is honestly just really annoying. Please don't do it. Thirdly, I don't recommend using glitches or hacks. Obviously, this is because you can get banned from the game and then all of your hard work would have gone to waste. Lastly, I don't recommend buying money with Robux from the in-game thing. This is not because of a possibility of getting scammed or anything, but it's just because I don't think it's worth it. It's much more worth it to earn the money yourself than to waste Robux on this, as 10,000 bucks in-game is 4,600 Robux, which is quite a lot, and it's just not worth it for the amount that you have to pay. I hope this was helpful for you, and I really appreciate if you took the time to watch to the end. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.